Thanks for joining me, Scott Ryan. Not every day do you get a second chance at something monumental, but that's the position that the Browns are in. With Chudzinski gone, they have a chance to do what they obviously should have done back in January, as I said in my couple of my videos back then. Nothing has ever been more clear that there is one man destined to coach this team, and it's been apparent for at least the past decade, and that name is Jim Tressel. I mean, there's this groupthink out there, and it kind of goes viral. It spreads among the media, and it's always the same insipid excuses put forward by the pseudo experts as to why Jim Tressel could not be a good coach for the Cleveland Browns. Yet they rehash all of these retread names every single year. I mean, every year people float these names around for a number of different teams, and these people aren't interested, and they might be right for some teams like Gruden or Josh McDaniels, and Bill Cowher's name always comes up. But there's one man, a champion, a proven champion from Ohio, Youngstown boy, born and bred, Browns fan, and it seemed improbable. I mean, I always had a feeling that he was going to eventually coach the Browns, but there were too many reasons why it just didn't look plausible. Like when he was at Ohio State after he won the national championship there, I was saying to many people the Browns will never break the curse and win a championship until that man is their coach. And a lot of people said that'll never happen. He would never leave that dream job at Ohio State. But things worked out the way they did, and unjustly so. I mean, talk about a scam in the way that he was treated at Ohio State. But he did what a leader does and a true gentleman does, and he stepped down when he didn't have to and took himself out of the situation. I mean, the planets lined up. They were lined up back in January. It was clear as could be then that this was an opportunity for the Browns. I mean, they're the people that use the platitudes, the just rehashed, thoughtless platitudes about, oh no, college coaches, it's a different animal. They can't make it in the NFL, blah, 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 Pete Carroll. I mean, there are instances, of course, where college coaches have gone into the NFL and failed. But there are also instances where college coaches have had success in college because they got lucky, they got the hot hand, they had the right players at the right time, but they failed after that. I mean, look at Coach Larry Coker, for example. Inherited a great team, won a national championship, but he was gone from Miami a few years later. Jim Tressel, on the other hand, what he did in Youngstown State year after year, all those championships that he won there, and then went on to Ohio State and did the same thing. This man, you look at him, he is a serious man, he is a leader, he is respectable. You could not go wrong taking someone of his caliber, but he also happens to be a great judge of talent. And a lot of people also would say is one of the insipid excuses as to why it's different from college to the NFL, which it is, but that doesn't mean one can't succeed in that transition, as we obviously know. But the fact is, people say that Jim Tressel was a great recruiter, and they don't recruit like that in the NFL. They have the draft. Well, what they're leaving out is the fact that the man is a great judge of talent, in that he knew who to recruit. There are a lot of high school players out there, just as there are many college players out there that look great on paper, that a large percentage of them don't make it in the NFL. Jim Tressel knows talent. He can look at the person, the character, all the intangibles, and pick the right people for the Browns. And God knows, for the past decade, how many people the Browns have drafted, number one and so on, in the first round, that were absolute bombs and never to be heard from again. Jim Tressel would not let us down. But I heard another priceless one the other day. One person posted a response to a piece that I wrote the other day saying that Jim Tressel might have been good at one time, might have been an ideal for coach for the Cleveland Browns, but his time has passed now. He's been out of it too long. Yeah, he's just suddenly forgotten how to coach. Jim Tressel, because a couple of years have gone by, he hasn't coached in Ohio State. After that whole long career, he just doesn't have it in him now. He couldn't possibly be a good coach because 2 years have gone by. But then you could pick any other retread schlep that's never proven themselves, never won anything in lieu of him. That's what group stupidity gets you. Jim Tressel is the man for this job. It is destiny. And if they pass it up and pick one of these idiotic, I mean, why would they take a guy with so many bypass a guy like Jim Tressel with all the proven ability, all the championships, and the relationships that he's fostered, and take somebody like Chud? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But this is the way that things go when you're talking. Stupidity is viral. Groupthink and banality is viral. People, I should say specifically, Haslam, don't listen to the talking idiots in the media. Do what you know is right. This guy will take this sideshow circus that is going on right now and quell it and bring respect and bring victories to the Cleveland Browns. It's time to bring the sweater vests back to Cleveland, bring respect and dignity back to Cleveland, and bring a little joy to the fans that is long overdue. And last of all, bring a national championship to the Cleveland Browns.